Hey YouTube, this is Stephanie. I am doing my week 14 post-lap band surgery update video. I am trying so hard to get back on track, so here I am. Okay, so some stats. I weighed 290 pounds at my worst, and I had surgery on December 28th of 2011. I had to lose 20 pounds prior to surgery and then have lost 22 pounds since then. 2 pounds last week down. Hooray, hooray. I'll cover why I lost those 2 pounds last week in just a second. But with stats, I am 5'7", and now I exercise more, which is something I just started this past week. I'm now using my elliptical and walking the dogs around. Number 2 is water. The water stuff is keeping up to the 1.5 liter, so I'm doing great there. Food, making a lot of better choices, and that's where I'll elaborate. So, 2 reasons why I think I am losing faster now, and I'm also seeing some significant progress, not only here but also here, is well, number 1 for the here part is I got a second fill on my lap band. I have now 7.4 cc's in my 10 cc band. I got that fill done a week and a half ago at the end of March, and what a difference! Like, it is like night and day. Prior to the fill, I was able to eat pretty much anything, still in large quantities. There was not a whole lot of control on what was being consumed and then how much was being consumed. The how much is lap band. And so with my fill, and 1.4 cc's made a humongous difference. Remember, I initially had 6 cc's put in my 10 cc band, and then finally I have 7.4, 1.4 cc difference, and I have to chew everything until it's mush. I have to be really extremely slow. I have to be cautionate about the things I choose. I have to avoid the drinking prior and the drinking after. I have to follow all those guideline rules that were given in order to be comfortable, to be honest with you, to be comfortable. Otherwise, it is a painful process. Stuff goes down and you feel it. And if you did not chew a chunk of, I don't know, lettuce properly, you will feel the piece of lettuce hit the band and shimmy its way down. And it is not fun when you have something like crunchy or scratchy, or it's just, don't do it. Just don't do it. Chew. And then don't drink anything, because sometimes that backfires. And if it's not going down, then it is going up. So watch out. I have not gotten, luckily, actually physically sick, but I have had to sit there and make this face while I'm waiting for stuff to get out of there. So don't do it. Don't do it. But a huge difference. It also causes me to evaluate what I'm consuming too. When I'm eating something, if I'm having a hard time with it, I'm like, gosh, it's so painful to eat this. Maybe it's not worth it anymore. I mean, you know, come on. So there have actually been some foods that are off my list, and believe it or not, one of them is broccoli, which I'm really sad to see go. I took a bite of broccoli. I thought I chewed that baby till it was literally a smoothie, and that couldn't have been the most uncomfortable. It was like I was holding my breath and like staring to the distance and like trying to breathe and just don't think about it. And finally I've decided no broccoli, and I'm sad to see broccoli go. I've had a couple issues with a couple other things. Adding moisture to things, like I had a chicken patty earlier today and I added some low-calorie, sugar, fat-free sauce to it. I can't remember the name of it, but it was just some healthy little sauce just to give it some sort of moisture, and huge difference. adding moisture, taking your time, and chewing, and then again, avoid the liquids altogether because that, like I said, can backfire ugly. So that's that. The second part of it is probably the big kahuna. Honestly, I mean, when we're talking about the lap band, it is two things. You've got the constriction. Okay, great. That's gonna help you with how much and how fast. But the second part of it is up here. It is totally what you choose to eat, when you choose to eat, how much you're choosing to eat. It is all a mental process, and that is half the battle. That's why people say the lap band is not the solution. It is a tool, and you have to use the tool and make the decisions for the tool to make the tool work for you. Like a hammer. A hammer is not going to work good as a screwdriver because that's not what it was meant for. So you gotta tweak it. And for me, the biggest mental boost that I've had was those meetings that I was talking to you about. Simply going for that group support, whether you're going for, eating issues like I am, or if you're going for just general lap band support. That support has been a godsend. And I hadn't even been for more than 1 week. I've literally gone 3 times in the past 7 days. And every time I go, it is like a battery charge. Sometimes and even now, it's just kind of like a foreshadowing. I am even now like, I didn't go to bed until late. Do I really want to get up early today and go to this? Okay, just go. And then as soon as I went there, and as soon as I, did what I do, I was like, I wouldn't have wanted to spend my morning any other way. And I'm just finding more and more that I need this. I need it. And that group environment helps recharge you and replenish you. And my decisions for the next 24 to 48 hours tend to be reflective upon that charge. And I exercised this week. I ate properly this week. I thought properly. I focused. I did the things that I needed to do to become successful this week because of all these little weak charges. And that doesn't mean I was perfect. I wasn't perfect. I'm not going to ever be perfect. I am human, therefore the flaws instilled. But that striving was there, and it was all because of this mental aspect of it. And that was just as incredibly significant as my 1.4 fill, because to me, great if you have restriction, but if I choose to fill it with crap, then I've gone backwards instead of forward, and then what's the point? What are you doing all this for? So huge part of it is the mental part. And just make it a proof to you that it's the mental part. Google or YouTube or whatever you do, lap band, and every time you talk to a person who's talking about them dealing with this and dealing with that and deciding this and deciding that, that is not the band. That is this part of it that they're having to deal with. So I am not alone. I am one among the millions. In fact, every single lap band patient has the mental portion to deal with. Hopefully, and I wish them the best, but hopefully if they don't have an issue with their compulsion and it just happened to be that it was the restriction, then yay for them. Congratulations. That's super. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being honest. That's incredible. That's good. But to those like myself who it is a struggle, it is a daily burden to deal with this struggle in the head, there is help out there. And don't be shy and don't be afraid. And I mean, now I sound like a preacher, but you know what I'm saying is that it is not just the band that's doing this. This is my energy, my going out and doing what I'm supposed to be doing because of the environments that I'm putting myself in and those charges that I'm getting throughout the week. So food for thought, no pun intended. Yeah, so All right, well, I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we have another successful one to go.